Thank you so much. Wassim, what more can you tell us about the civilian casualties in the region?
Well, what we can say is in Mali and Niger and Burkina Faso, civilian casualties are reaching real heights since a few years, and 2020 was a very deadly year for civilians. And we see here in this graph, so you see killed by unconfirmed groups, by community militias, or by jihadi groups. And we see that 2020 was the biggest year in civilian casualties. And we know that those who attacked those civilians a few days ago, it was the second attack, and we are going up from Tillaberi till this region. It's new, and all the killed were Tuareg and killed by suspected Islamic State jihadis.
So are we witnessing, therefore, the return of the Islamic State group?
Well, actually, unfortunately, civilian casualties shouldn't be looked at as an indicator of the comeback of the Islamic State. We can see indicators when they attack armies or state institutions. And here we see that in the months of March, we have all the attacks by the Islamic State, and the latest was in Tessit against the Malian army, more than 30 soldiers killed, and it's the deadliest attack since the one that occurred on November 2019. And we see that in under Bukan, they faced Tuareg militias, and Tuareg militias lost 10 soldiers before they retreat back to Niger. So we saw in this month of March an uptick in action, but the indicator one more time is the confrontation with militias, with armies, and not by killing civilians who unfortunately are being killed all the time.
So what's happening with Alqaeda?
Well, Alqaeda is still active in this region, and yesterday Barkhane, the French army, was attacked in the town of next to the town of Hombori, the northern entrance of Hombori. There were no casualties, but they were attacked still. And we should remember that in the same region of Hombori, by the end of December and the beginning of January, the French military lost five soldiers. So Al-Qaeda is still there, is still entrenched and capable of attacking French army and the MINUSMA and also the Malian army.
Now, if you look back last year, the Islamic State group was seemingly contained. So what has happened since then?
Well, actually, they were contained, since one more time they weren't able to attack armies of the region in a significant way in 2020. But the thing is that they were contained because of intra-jihadi war. And here we see a map of a study that I made to New Lines Institute in Washington, D.C. And all the red dots, you see the number of killing and then the spots where they confronted Al-Qaeda jihadis. And this is the war between them that contained them in a way, plus the activity of Barkhane, the surge of Barkhane that happened after the Po meeting and all the way in 2020. And on this map, we see all the activity of Barkhane and all the jihadi activity from 2018 up to January 2021. And you see that there are more and more military activity, but also more and more jihadi activity. It's like an oil dot going all through the three-border region and into central Mali and going further on the border between Mali and Niger.
Wassim Nasr, thank you so much.
Thank you.